Hello everyone, and welcome to the next part of the Red Embrace Hollywood LP. If you want to buy the game or support the devs on the Patreon, links are in the description. If you haven't seen previous parts, there's also a playlist that you should watch of me playing this game. Cool? Cool. Let's go. I quickly pulled on my clothes, hurrying outside. Once I left the hotel, I immediately caught the scent of a lone human in the side street nearby. A perfect target. Too absorbed in his thoughts, the man didn't even notice me until I bitten him from behind. I drank just enough to sate myself, leaving him standing in a pleasant daze. By the time I returned to the street, Sharice's car was there, patiently waiting for me. I climbed into the back seat, but as usual, the silent driver didn't acknowledge me. As soon as I closed the door, he took off towards Santa Monica, weaving through the hectic evening traffic. My mission seemed pretty straightforward, unlike the other night's sewer crawl. Once I found the humans, I'd just have to scare or coax them away. By any means necessary, Sharice said. After we pulled up by the pier, I hopped out of the car and made my way down to the beach, scanning the dunes of any mortals with cameras. Sure enough, I didn't have to search for very long. Marching down the shoreline was a group of young men hauling TV equipment, eagerly shouting and pointing at various innocent beachgoers. Sharice was right. The beach house was close by. If they kept going, they might run into Randall's crew, which would end in either unwanted publicity or the mortals' deaths. After I observed the men for a short while, I decided the best way to deal with them would be... Oh my god, it's you! Oh my god, is it him? Suddenly a thrilled voice cried out from behind me. Suddenly a thrilled voice cried out from behind me. I turned to see a young man rushing forward through the sand. It's you! Oh my god, you're so pretty. Look at you! Look at your face! Wow. An uncomfortably familiar young man. I can't believe it. I thought I'd never see you again. But here you are. Here I am. Just like it's destiny or something. Wow. He's really cute though. It was the same mortal I fed on my second night. You remember me? Sorry, you're mistaking me for someone else. Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna be like, oh no. I was gonna say it, but I was like, no, commitment. Commitment! I could try to play it off. Even though he's so pretty. Sorry, you're mistaking me for someone else. Haha, no, there's no way I could mistake you for someone else. You're the- whoa. You're the most beautiful guy I've ever seen. I could never forget your face even if I tried. Dude. Not that I only care about your looks or anything, it's just that you have a really cool charisma. Like, a movie star, you know? And this didn't make any sense. Hadn't Sharice said the humans forget everything leading up to the fight? But this human scent wasn't like any other I'd smelled. It was oddly sweet, different from the salty sea air or the stench of unwashed mortals nearby. He's special somehow. Oh, I should probably introduce myself, huh? My name's David. I work with the photo crew, part of the tabloid my dad owns. He gestured towards the group in the distance, looking slightly embarrassed. I convinced them to come out here at night to look for you, actually. To look for me? But you're not here for revenge, are you? I'm used to starstruck cuties chasing after me, but it never gets old. That was a horrible idea. You're in a lot of danger. Get the hell out of here before something bad happens. Oh, that was a horrible idea. You're in a lot of danger. Danger? From what? Unless you mean... Oh, don't worry about that. I've always liked people who were dark and mysterious. He averted his eyes dashfully as if hoping that would hide the pink tint on his cheeks. David! The other night, I woke up in the dark and it was so warm I thought I was dead. I didn't know what had happened to me. But then it all flooded back. You were so good to me, the way you took me somewhere safe and covered me up. His voice trembled with awe and adoration. David! God damn it, this is really hard for me because it's actually really cute. I don't really understand what you are or what you did to me, but After that night, I can't stop thinking about you, how amazing it was. Oh my god, did we do something by accident with our powers or something? I don't know. Oh god. There was a certain dazed dreaminess in his voice and eyes. He looked at me like I was his hero, a rock star or a movie star, someone larger than life. Are you saying you want me to do it again? Or, David, go home and forget if any of this ever happened. Or, you got some serious issues, you know that? David, go home and forget any of this ever happened. No! No, I don't want to forget it. You don't understand how much you mean to me. David! Maybe it was love at first sight, or maybe it was something more. I don't care, none of that matters. Someone save me, Jesus. I don't know how to deal with this. All I know is that I need to be with you. I need you to take what you want from me again, or else... I don't know, I might go crazy. He was so full of passion. Almost too innocent to be real. Like a snowflake before it lands on the dirt. I could barely believe it, but... he really did seem completely in love with me. Or if not with me, then with the sensations I'd given him. If you want to be mine, I can make you mine, or alright, I'll take you in, or I can't, David, I'm sorry. It's too dangerous for you. I can't, David, I'm sorry, it's too dangerous. I want to do this, but I'm not sure if it's the right thing to do. Because I'm not sure if he's gonna end up like running off and doing his own thing if I do this. Please. I mean, please, don't send me away. Panic flickered in his eyes. I can take care of myself, and I promise I'll make everything worth it. Please. Oh, fuck. No, you should go home and pretend this never happened. Oh god, this is so difficult. Okay, I'm gonna save here. I'm gonna save here because I'm actually interested in what's gonna happen if I end up sending him away. Because I'm actually gonna keep him. Just to keep an eye on him. I feel like I'm keeping a pet and that's not what's happening. It might happen, like, in-game, but for me personally, I'm like, I have to keep an eye on him, I guess? Well, if you're completely sure, then alright. Yes! I am sure. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. A feverish delight shone on his face. It was almost painfully honest, the way his body was so expressive. He's so cute. Fuck, it's so weak. I said I was doing it because I want to keep an eye on them, but also, he's cute. He probably couldn't lie even if he wanted to. Then, please, tell me what I should call you. Just call me Antonio, please. Don't call me Master. No, let's not go there. Antonio. That's your name. I love it. Oh god. We're gonna have to see how this plays out. He gave an eager nod, then fell silent, staring at me expectantly. Alright, tell your crew to leave and we'll head back together. Get rid of that beanie. No! Well, maybe he looks cute without the beanie too, but like... Alright, tell your crew to leave and we'll head back together. You got it. I'll let them know I won't be coming around for a while. Oh, baby. I watched David as he turned to hurry over towards his hollering group, waving them down. Whatever he told them resulted in a lot of confused looks and grumbling, although I couldn't pick out the words from so far away. But he apparently convinced them to leave because they started to head back the way they came, their camera's lights finally blinking out. And so our secret as vampires survived another day. Oh god. Oh god, my head hurts. Oh god. It's only the start of the part, but I feel so exhausted now. That was a lot. With David safely in tow, I returned to the hotel. Oh god, I hope I don't get in trouble. The Kirk looked extremely uncomfortable when he noticed my new companion. He informed me that due to health standards, David would have to stay in an adjoining room. David didn't seem ready to leave my side just yet, though, so I let him follow me into the hotel meeting room. Charisse! Unlike the other night, Charisse was already sitting there. Charisse! Help me. I did a thing. I don't know what I did. I need help. Charisse! She was on the phone with someone, though she held up a finger to keep me quiet. Okay. Yes, yes. Yes, I'll arrange it. No, I won't be here at Hollywood Heights. What? No, no human baggage, thank you. I'm sure he can look after himself for a few days. Yes. No, I really don't. Very well, goodbye. She forcefully clamped down the receiver, letting out a disgruntled sigh. Red lips. The idiots can't even deal with his own coven, as if my hands aren't full enough right now either. Everyone always needs something, without fail. I need something. Raising to her feet, Charisse strode over to me, clearing her throat deliberately. Well, since you're back, Antonio, I assume you took care of the problem? I didn't. It's right here. Hopefully no future mortals will. Oh god, I'm so sorry, Charisse. I don't know what to do. I didn't want to leave him alone. She trailed off. Her eyes focused sharply on David, practically drilling holes into his skull. Oh god, please don't stare at him. He's beautiful. He shrunk back behind me, as if hoping I'd serve as a barrier between him and Charisse's death stare. I've taken in a human to feed from. I hope you don't mind. Charisse, meet David. David meets Charisse. Hello. How charming. With a heavy, disgruntled sigh, Charisse shook her head, although she seemed more puzzled than annoyed. Thank God. That's a rather bizarre coincidence. It would seem you found yourself a Strix? What's that? She paused, peering at David over her glasses for a few moments before clarifying further. Strixes, the plural, are rare mortals with particularly appealing blood. Many of them can retain memories from being fed upon, unlike normal humans, and some of them may even remain conscious during it. But they also tend to have rather extreme reactions to being turned, so please, deal with him carefully. I will, no need to worry. Sucking him dry would just be counterproductive, wouldn't it? No, this one. I will, no need to worry. Charisse nodded, although judging from the faint curl of her upper lip, she didn't really approve of David to begin with. I'm glad that she isn't like sending him away or trying to get him killed. Thanks, Charisse. Thank you. Just so you're aware, I do not advocate taking live-in blood pets. Unless you're proclaimed dead or have no living relations or friends, they can often result in various issues sprouting up. But for the duration of your employment, I will permit it. Thanks, I appreciate it. David won't cause any problems, right, David? Thanks, I appreciate it. Just make sure you handle the logistics. I will. She flickers a hand as if to dismiss the subject, finally shifting her needle-like stare away from David, who let out a quiet exhale of relief. He obviously had no idea what was going on, and I could feel him clenching the back of my jacket, looking for some kind of moral support. Oh, but lovely. As I was saying, I assume you took care of the problem on the beach. It may seem like a trivial task, but in the encroaching digital age, hiding our presence from mortals is growing increasingly difficult. Someone is always watching. Now, your next job involves further diplomacy, and fortunately for you, no sewers. As always, she coasted onto my next duties in her perpetual impatient tone. However, it does involve returning to a place that may be all too familiar. The Abertoir, the same club your sire visited you. Alright, what do I have to do? That's fine with me, it has a great aesthetic going on. Good, maybe I'll get a chance to find the guy who turned me. Alright, what do I have to do? Charisse raised an eyebrow at me. Was she expecting a stronger reaction? The Abertoir sees many rich and powerful clientele, both human and vampire, each looking to fulfill their own deprived desires. I'm sure you know how clubs are. With with inhibitions lowered and desires heightened, information is always bound to flow freely. Because the Abertoir is neutral ground just like Heath's Bar, all manner of vampires are frequent visitors. Thus, it is very important we learn about anything that might slip. Doesn't that defeat the whole point of neutral ground? Not silently? And don't tell me you're sending me on a spy mission. That doesn't actually defeat, because when you go into neutral ground, you're expecting, like, for people to follow the rules, but at the same time people are going to take advantage of that, so not silently. All I need you to do is convince one of the club's managers, Alyosha, to deliver regular reports to us. I heard she was the partner, the blood pet of Mavar, so she's already aware of our political situation. I'm sure she and I can come to an agreement, or if she's human, couldn't we just use our powers to win her over? Or what if she's already delivering reports to Mavar?
Like I am. Oh god, my throat made a funny noise.
I'm sure she and I can come to an agreement. I have every faith in your diplomacy skills. However, keep in mind that Alyosha is a very willful woman. She's highly capable for mortal and very knowledgeable on our unique abilities. I doubt simple force would be effective, and the last thing we want is for her to end up working against us. Though, as an Ascari, I'm certain you could avoid needless altercations regardless. You have so much faith in me, girl. With a deep inhale, Cherise drew herself up slightly, glancing towards the wall clock. It was a not-so-subtle hint that our meeting was about to end. I'd like you to deliver your report within the next few days, Antonio. Until then. Her eyes briefly grazed over David, who I could feel trembling behind me. Oh god, David. I'm not sure if I made a mistake with you, if you're gonna get in the way of romance or something. Ooh. At least, oh god, I'm dying. So stay out of unnecessary trouble. Leaving me with those pointed words, she made a swift exit. That's your boss, I guess? David finally managed to break his silence after Cherise left, shuffling out of my protective shadow. She's terrifying. Is it hard to work with her? We get along pretty well, actually. She's not that bad, just a little stiff. You have no idea, David. No idea. So far, she's not that bad. And no, we don't get along exactly. But we don't not get along. She's not that bad, just a little stiff. Well, I'll take your word for it, Antonio. He gazed at me rapturously. In his eyes, it seemed like I could do no wrong. Oh god. So, what are you going to do now? David's question made me stop and consider for a moment. Even though my task that night was over, there was still plenty of time until sunrise. Marcus's early advice resurfaced in my mind. Maybe now is a good time to start scoping out the other vampires in LA. Go explore or stay in the hotel. I'm gonna go explore, but I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save. Next page. Hello. What are these saves? I don't remember these saves. From March? I don't remember. Go to explore. Are we taking David with us? No. Before I could go out, I had to make sure David was safely deposited in the hotel. Is that okay? He was incredibly reluctant to leave my side, but once I promised I'd see him again before long, he finally agreed to stay in his room. Oh my god, I can feel a headache coming on. I slipped out of the hotel and into the cool night air. There were a few places I could visit tonight. Visit Heath, visit the beach house, or visit Blood and Roses. I haven't visited Marcus's place. I know it's a porn shop. I'm not sure if I have to censor anything. So we'll see how it goes. Visit Blood and Roses.
I want to see. It's been a while since I've seen Marcus.
It seemed like a good time to pay Marcus a visit. He did say I could stop by whenever I wanted to, after all. The only problem was I didn't know the way to his shop. So I ended up asking my driver for directions, which was only slightly mortifying. God. Ugh, the art. Ugh. Nothing to see here, people. The shop I stepped into was the unholy union of a goth teenager's room and Dracula's sex dungeon. My eyes were attacked with an obscene amount of red velvet, gaudy lighting, and faux Victorian furniture. But that wasn't the most striking part. The honor belonged to the whips, chains, and shockingly large accessories on display. As for the floors, they were cluttered with shelves stocked full of books, VHR tapes, and magazines. I couldn't even begin to count how many. It was like a pervert's library of Alexandria. Oh my god. Marcus! Underneath the shop's deaths, I found my way over to the counter. Marcus was casually leaning against it with one elbow flipping through a magazine. There was no way he hadn't noticed me, but he still didn't look up. Evening, Marcus. I stopped by to chat. What are you reading? Or watch him silently. Evening, Marcus. I stopped by to chat. Hmm? Marcus finally lifted his head, giving me a curious look that soon morphed into a smile. Antonio. I was expecting you tonight. Okay. You were? Why? Well, you know I don't like to disappoint. Or, that sounds a little ominous. Well, you know I don't like to disappoint. Why, you should disappoint people a little now and then, just to keep them on their toes. Oh, I loved it. He rubbed a thumb along the magazine cover, chuckling to himself. Well, business is rather slow, as you can see. Is there anything I can do for you? Perhaps a particular topic you wanted to discuss? I have many ears, and all of them are yours in this very moment. I have a question about you, about someone else. I think that's all for now. Oh my god, I actually don't know what to choose. So, why do you wear those sunglasses? Are you allied with any of the leaders? What made you decide to run a sex shop? What made you run a... My reasoning is rather simple. The more sordid and visceral something is, the more society and its morals label as taboo. The more it fascinates the repressed masses. Turn on the TV or read the news and see for yourself. Rock and roll, Kennedy's assassination tape, the Manson's murders, Dracula, Kurt Cobain, the crucifixionists, famously. He gestured toward the television screen above the counter, its picture silently buzzing with static. Nothing is more tantalizing than the natural instincts where we're made to feel guilty for sex, violence, power. Myself, I find sexuality to be the most interesting and easily exploitable of mankind's desires. And so I've set up my charming little shop, which serves the dual purpose of providing modest income, while also constructing a psychological exhibit for me to study. Wow, big words. It's also quite amusing to force the city leaders into visiting me here. Nobody can act truly high and mighty among a sea of phalluses. I hope I said that right. Fallacy. My god, what a missed opportunity. This vampire went. Yes, the most lurid of questions everybody's simply dying to know. Marcus let out a gentle sigh. We can replicate most of the human biology without too much effort, but it's not a subconscious affair, like breathing was immortal. Producing arousal usually requires concentration or mental attunement. The subject willing their body to flow downwards. Okay. Blushing is also possible, in fact. But what kind of pathetic, cutesy creature would choose to blush on purpose? Loses the entirety of its charm, so you'll almost never find a vampire so shamelessly pretentious. Though, I suppose there are exceptions. Why do you wear those sunglasses? Or to make people feel smart when they so cleverly pick up on that irony. After all, a simple fashion statement could just be too incongruous with my elusive nature. I'm not sure if you're picking on me. Next question. Are you allied with any of the leaders? Have you already forgotten my advice, brother? Sorry. A smart man doesn't hitch a ride. Wheels break down, but the will to keep walking? Never. I thought it was hard to be completely neutral here. So you double-cross everyone. I thought it was hard to be completely neutral here. Oh, it is indeed. But I am no mere bystander. Marcus clicked his tongue, quirking a brow at me. The truth of the matter is, I contribute to every side, and I assist none. Like all supposedly philanthropic causes, they hold no meaning for me. Once upon a time, I pretended to care as most people do, but no longer. His gaze drifted idly away, as if the subject had somehow lost his interest. How old are you exactly? Let's just go on the quest line. Well, as a man of the past, the present, and the future, the question is a mighty difficult one. Ah, I could see how that would be an issue. Because of his, like, powers, he could sort of be, like, he could see all those things, I'm guessing, as a Golgotha. You're like, I actually don't know how old I am, I'm just living in the now, and I don't know where the now is. Let's just do away with bothersome numbers and say, I am however old you believe me to be. Alright, if you say so. Why are you always so cryptic? You could just give me a straight answer. Alright, if you say so. He gave a short, satisfied nod. What do your Golgotha visions look like? Can he actually explain that to me? Can I overstay my welcome? What do your Golgotha visions look like? Ooh, you don't have to tell me. My visions, dearest Antonio, are of potential, of what may be there, of what exists in other realities, but is not yet discovered in your own. After all, we merely skim the topmost layer of existence, though on occasion a mind can look past it. He stared off into space for a long pause, collecting his thoughts before continuing. In this grand scheme of time, we've only just discovered the subatomic and the distant skies. And only because these things allowed themselves to be discovered by our eyes. How many other things are invisible to all our senses, to the paltry workings of science? How many things exist beyond our clumsy, self-important ideas of the metaphysical, ghosts and deities bored enough to obsess over our tiny selves? How many things are out there that we just cannot comprehend? In the centuries to come, we'll look back on ourselves like we have, time and time again, and smile at our quaint ideas. Smile at the idea of religion like we now smile at the little children, smile at gravity like we now smile at those who thought the world flat, smile at simple morality like we now smile at apes. Marcus let out a faint chuckle, but it sounded more wistful than mocking. He is such an interesting character. My visions allow me to see those alternate features laid upon our own, and it's always quite distressing. I can only imagine. Good and evil weren't always what they are now, nor will they be the same in 100 years. Thus it seems folly to me, as a man of all ages, to chain myself to some mortal rock of the century. Moral rock. Was that moral rock? Hold on. Moral rock. My fault. We'll look back on the atrocities of earlier days and say, times were different then. But I desire to look from the future to the present, to see what we will one day consider primitive and backwards thinking. These outdated ideas we've carried past their lifetime.
Cool. When I came to visit you, I wasn't expecting this. I should have.
What are your own morals, then? I see. You've got interesting ideas, Marcus. What are your own morals, then? Quite simple. Do as one pleases, and do unto others as they've done unto you. Treasure and protect those who bring you delight, but love and hate carefully, for those passions lose their meaning when tossed forth without care. But there is one thing I will never, ever abide. The abuse of innocence. I can get behind that. Children in the childlike, and pets who are children in their own ways. There's a difference between the strong ruling in the weak, and the strong abusing those who cannot defend themselves. That is not strength, for there is nothing noble about exercising power on the defenseless. Such abusers are simply weak themselves, perpetuating a cycle they too endured, but I believe they should be discarded to build a stronger society. He ended with a note of bitterness in his voice, staring at the carpet. Oh, that happened to you. Are you okay, Marcus? About someone else? What's your relationship with Randall? Yeah, because we only saw, like,
Randall knows him and he respects him.
He is emerging from a cocoon, struggling to free himself. Some nights I don't know which holds more terrifying potential, Randall or his followers. Each one may be but a gentle lamb, full of kind intentions and innocent desires for safety, for freedom. A person is intelligent and wise, but people, they'll easily become a pack of animals, a hive mind, feeding off each other's fears and hatred for the enemy. That's all I can ever say. What do you think of Heath? He's a lost boy if I have ever seen one. A circular block that can't fit in a square slot, and a star child who doesn't understand our world. Alas, self-loathing is just another form of narcissism, perhaps even the most severe form. Absorbed in self-pity, misery, your thoughts always focus on your own depression. That's why his use of drugs is constant. Oh god, that's new. Though most of them aren't narcotics of the bloodstream, for drugs come in many forms. Oh. Okay. Television, movies, video games, food, sleep, celebrities, music. Everything we use to escape. Your views on Charisse. Always had an unusual fondness for the Red Queen. She possesses both the kindest and cruelest heart of any vampire in Hollywood. Her protective desire clashes with visions of a utopia. Yeah, I actually get a feeling from that from Charisse. Like, she seems like the type that she cares a lot, but she's willing to do anything to make sure that nothing bad happens, or like doing bad things in order for worse things not to happen. Though she longs to fix the broken and wounded, all she knows how to do is destroy. I will always admire the beauty of her vulnerable soul. About something else. I think that's all for now. Very well. We'll see each other again soon, I'm sure. Yeah.
Finger snap out of there.
Leaving Marcus's shop, I return to the dark streets. Wait, I can go everywhere? How do I know? Can I just visit everywhere and be fine? Can I visit? Let's visit Heath. I know I should go to the beach house, but I was just there earlier, so like, meh. I think we'll stop there for now. See you in the next part. Bye bye.